What if our biggest money mistakes aren't about math at all, but the stories we tell ourselves? We like to think we're logical with dollars, yet most decisions start with emotion and only later get a spreadsheet to justify them. You've seen it play out. People who earn a fortune and still end up broke, or others with average incomes who quietly build real wealth. The difference isn't secret stock tips, it's how they think about risk, status, enough, and time. In this video, we'll unpack 7 money lessons most people never learn. They're simple, practical, and grounded in behavior, so you can keep more of what you make, invest without panic, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. No hype, just clear ideas you can use today. Lesson 1. Money mirrors your memories. We don't make money choices in a vacuum. We make them with a history. If you watched a parent lose a job in a recession, stocks might still feel like danger, even when the math looks fine. If you saw a friend's tiny crypto bet explode, risk might feel like opportunity, even when the odds are thin. Different pasts, different reactions, both perfectly human. On a chart, markets look smooth over decades. In real life, they feel like turbulence, headlines, layoffs, sudden bills. So when someone hoards cash in a drawer or refuses to invest, it's usually not ignorance, it's memory. And when someone leans into risk, that's memory too. Understanding this softens the urge to judge other people's money moves, and your own. Name your money story. Write one sentence. I tend to because I learned. Maybe, I avoid investing because I saw family lose money. Or I overspend when I finally feel safe. Once you see the story, you can design around it, automate good behaviors, add room for error, and make small, safe experiments that rebuild trust. Forgive your earlier choices. You were doing your best with the information and the emotions you had. Today you can choose a calmer script. Lesson 2. Play your own game. Most money mistakes come from copying people who aren't living your life. Online, you'll see day traders, long-term investors, crypto gamblers, and real estate operators, all in the same feed. They have different goals, timelines, and stomachs for risk. If you mirror their moves, you don't get their success. You get their volatility without their plan. Start by naming your game in one short paragraph you can read before you act. Your target: cover 3,000 month from assets. Your timeline: 5 years, not 5 days. The drop you can sleep through, and what cash you'll need in the next 1 to 3 years that must not be in the market. Then make a tiny playbook you'll actually follow. Automatic buys into broad index funds every payday, near-term goals kept in cash or T-bills, and a simple rule: if it wasn't in yesterday's plan, it's not today's trade. Test every tempting idea with a quick translation. What game is that person playing? Does this move advance my target on my timeline? If it goes wrong, can I still sleep at night? A $20,000 down payment in 12 months belongs in cash, not a meme coin. A 30-year retirement belongs in low-cost index funds, not headlines. When you know your game, no stops feeling like fear and starts feeling like strategy. Lesson 3. Define enough. Greed quietly wrecks good plans because more has no finish line. You start with a sensible goal, then see someone post a 30% week, and suddenly your target shifts. That's how people with plenty still take reckless bets, not for security, but for status. If you don't define enough, the goalposts keep moving, and you take risks your future self can't afford. Make enough concrete and personal. That might be $50,000 in savings, or covering $3,000 a month of core expenses from assets, or working 4 days a week, or retiring at 45. Pick what actually improves your life, write it down, and treat it as a real line you can reach, not a mirage that slides away every time someone else flexes a bigger win. Then build guardrails to protect it. Pre-decide that every raise sends a fixed share to investing before lifestyle. Keep near-term goals in cash so you're not tempted to gamble, and use a simple rule. If a move only makes sense because you want more, it's a no. When enough is clear, your choices get calmer, and your plan stops getting hijacked by other people's highlight reels. Lesson 4. Respect compounding. Compounding is the quiet engine of wealth. Small gains, repeated, turning into big numbers later. Early on, it feels like nothing's happening. $50 here, $120 there. So it's tempting to stop. But the curve is sneaky. It's slow, and then suddenly meaningful. Most of Warren Buffett's net worth arrived after age 50, not because of a secret strategy, but because he stayed invested long enough for time to do the heavy lifting. We underestimate compounding because our brains think in straight lines, not curves. So we judge the plan by year one and quit right before the acceleration. The fix isn't a clever trade, it's consistency. Automate buys into broad index funds, keep a small cash buffer so you're never forced to sell, and treat market drops as part of the path, not a signal to abandon it. Make it concrete. Choose a steady amount, say $300, $500 every paycheck, and let it run for years. When your income rises, bump the contribution by a fixed percent. For example, add $50 for every $200 raise. Check progress monthly if you must, but judge results yearly. Compounding only works if you stay in the game. Your job is to keep the snowball rolling. Lesson 5. Status versus substance. The man in the car paradox is simple. When we see a luxury car, we don't admire the driver. We admire the car. Status spending promises admiration, but it mostly buys glances at the object, not respect for the owner. Chasing that attention is expensive, addictive, and usually short-lived. Substance, skills, reliability, generosity earns the kind of reputation money can't purchase. Shift the goal from looking successful to living well. Ask, will this buy give me more freedom, calm, or time? A reliable used car that lowers your payment does more for your life than a badge upgrade. A modest mortgage that keeps your monthly costs stable beats a stretch purchase that steals sleep. Track real signals of health, savings rate, months of expenses in cash, and net worth. Simple numbers that don't care who's watching. Give yourself rules that protect you from impulse signaling. Delay big buys 7 to 14 days, set an admiration budget of $0, and spend loudly only on things you truly use and love. If you want admiration, build character and competence. If you want peace, build margin. Status fades in a week, substance compounds for years. Lesson 6. Plan for surprise. In money and in life, surprises aren't rare, they're normal. Layoffs, medical bills, broken cars, sudden rent hikes. The mistake is planning as if the road will always be clear. You don't win by perfect prediction, you win by survival. Setting things up so a bad month doesn't erase a good plan. Give yourself slack, aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash, self-employed or variable income, 6 to 12 months. Any money you'll need within 1 to 3 years belongs in a high-yield savings account or short-term treasuries, not stocks. Keep fixed bills reasonable. A good rule, 50% of take-home. Avoid heavy leverage, carry proper insurance, health, renters, home, auto, term life and disability if someone depends on your income, and diversify so one bet can't sink you. Use a simple sleep test before decisions. If this goes wrong, can I still sleep at night? Pre-decide downturn rules, keep dollar cost averaging, rebalance on a schedule, don't hit the sell button in panic. Build slack in your time too. A little calendar buffer prevents costly mistakes. Room for error isn't laziness, it's what lets you stay in the game long enough for compounding to work. Lesson 7. Action beats information. Most people know what to do. Save more than you spend, avoid high-interest debt, invest regularly, yet few do it. That gap isn't about intelligence, it's about behavior. Stress, envy, and fear push us off plan long before math does. The fix isn't more tips, it's building defaults that make the right action the easy action. Turn intentions into systems. Automate transfers on payday, emergency fund, investments, bills. Use a 24-hour rule for non-essential buys, and keep near-term goals in cash so you're never forced to sell investments. Run a 15-minute weekly check-in. Note dollars invested, cash buffer, and any rule you broke. Make one small tweak, not 10. Pre-commit to simple lines you'll keep. I buy broad index funds every paycheck. I increase contributions when my salary rises. I don't trade what I'll need within 3 years. Start tiny and make it stick. Set a $50 to $200 automatic investment this week. Raise it by $25 with each raise, and schedule bill pay so late fees never touch you. Small boring moves, repeated, beat big heroic efforts that fizzle. Information informs, systems deliver.